Now let's come to the role of the CEO. In a non-profit organization, CEO is usually the chief of staff. Ideally, the CEO should not be a board member, though he or she may be invited on all board meetings and participate in the deliberations without the right to vote. A CEO should not be a voting member of the board. What are the qualifications of a CEO? And this is a very tall order. This is an ideal life. If you get somebody like that, send one to me. An inspirational and ethical leader, passionate and energetic, entrepreneurial and optimistic, accountable and service-oriented, management experience, working knowledge of legal, fiscal and regulatory issues, and experience. These are some of the things I would look forward in a CEO. I'll continue to ability to take risks, humility and respect and an understanding of small non-profits, problem-solving skills, ownership of the organization, feeling a strong sense of involvement, team management skills, communication skills, negotiation skills, and the ability to be patient and diplomatic. What a tall order. But this is part of the HR exercise. You would want to see at least a maximum of these qualities. I mean, you can't get all of it. I mean, it's very difficult to get that. So this is typically what we call the governance pyramid, that the apex of the pyramid is the governing board. This works in a fiduciary capacity. It works in an honorary capacity. It does not get any remuneration. The policy, strategy is made over here. Then they appoint a CEO. The CEO is the head of staff. This is a paid capacity. The board hires and fires the CEO. In an ideal situation, the CEO hires and fires the staff, not the board. In India, you find the board also hiring the driver, the peons, everybody. In the US and UK, it doesn't happen that way. Board only hires and fires the staff and leaves it to the CEO to hire and fire the team. Policy is made here, strategy is made here. CEO is paid to get that forward with the help of staff. Staff reports to the CEO, CEO reports back to the board. That's the ideal governance. But it rarely happens. Here you find, in many organizations, at least I've seen at district level, staff even sits on the board. It happens. But this is the ideal governance structure that we all must aspire towards. Management is separate from governance. A voting CEO on the board presents conflict of interest in core areas of board responsibility, such as CEO evaluation and compensation, hiring and firing, assessment of activities. So, in other words, what happens is, where is the conflict of interest? The CEO is also a voting member of the board. Now, to hire the CEO is sitting over his own judgment, whether I can be hired or I can be fired. I need a raise this year. He's sitting on the board and deciding what I need to have. So this is why the CEO should never be on the board over here. So it's not a desirable practice. Best practice therefore for the board is to avoid including the CEO so that the board can exercise independent oversight and exercise internal systems of checks and balance. The CEO develops and implements programs and projects, selects and motivates staff and team, and may even develop and propose policy issues to the board for consideration. What are the CEO expectations?